You're listening to RazorCast, USA's hottest podcast, bringing you cutting-edge interviews from leading industry professionals.
Hello, everyone. This is Liz Harvey coming to you from our RazorCast studios in New York City, where we are dedicated to bringing you cutting-edge interviews from many of the leading industry professionals across the U.S. In today's episode, we are speaking with Dr. Matthew Phinney. Dr. Phinney is the founder of the Chiropractic Doctors in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he is committed to improving the health and vitality of his community through chiropractic and wellness care. He is originally from Toronto, Canada, and graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Matthew Phinney is widely considered to be one of the top chiropractors specializing in holistic and alternative health in the country, and he is also a contributing member of our national network of industry professionals. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, sciatica. Hi, Dr. Phinney. How are you today?
Hello, Liz. Doing fantastic, thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. So, the first question I have is it true that the sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in the body, and where is it located?
Yeah, that is correct, Liz. The sciatic nerve is the largest and longest nerve in the body. It's located exiting from the lower lumbar, lower back, and goes all the way down past the glutes, into the thigh, and all the way down to the very tip of the toes.
Okay, and sciatica is the term used to describe the pain from the sciatic nerve. Can you describe some of the symptoms of sciatica that people experience?
Yeah, of course. A couple things people will commonly tell us when they come in is they get like a numbness, a tingling, burning type sensation down the leg. Sometimes it'll be like a deep sort of dull ache in through, say, the groin. Oftentimes typically goes from the knee all the way down into the feet. But aching, stabbing, burning, throbbing, sharp, searing, those are a lot of the common symptoms that people will typically experience with sciatica.
And do you know what are the most common causes of sciatica?
Common causes typically come from, there's two main, but they typically come from the lower back. And so it usually has to do with some sort of alignment issue, a structural or functional issue in the lower back, which we term chiropractically as a subluxation. It's essentially a misalignment of the spine that puts pressure on the nerves and nervous system. So sciatica, again, largest nerve in the body. When there's a misalignment or a twisting or shifting in the, say, hips or the pelvis, that can cause pressure on those nerve roots, and those nerve roots travel all the way down into the leg, so that can cause problems wherever that nerve travels. That's one. The other thing is the sciatic nerve also will pass through a muscle we call the piriformis muscle. And so that's another potential cause of sciatica is due to extensive tightness of that muscle, also putting pressure on that nerve. So there's a couple different stretches we'll have people do, but we want to rule in or out whether or not it's coming from the lower back or it's coming from that piriformis, and there's different tests and things that we can do to determine that one way or the other. But causes for that include things like sports injuries, falls, accidents, car accidents, sitting at a desk all day long. It's estimated that as Americans, we actually sit at a desk throughout our entire lifetime for about 34 years. So 34 years is spent sitting. And sitting for the spine, sitting for the nervous system is like sugar for the teeth. It essentially rots the body, rots the spine. So those are a couple of the main causes, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so why does sciatica pain sometimes come and go?
The reason why, actually, a lot of times people will have sciatica, it will be there, and then it will go away. It will be there, and it'll go away. The reason why it comes down to the nerve and the makeup of the sciatic nerve. About 10% of the nerve, what that nerve does is actually sensory. Remaining 90%, 45, is responsible for controlling muscle function of the legs, and then the other 45% of that sciatic nerve goes to organ and glandular. And so what that essentially means is you can have pressure, you can have compression or irritation on up to 90% of that nerve, and you don't necessarily feel anything. And then all of a sudden one day you go from like, that 8% into that 10%, and boom, now you have excruciating pain. And so it just depends on where that irritation or where that pressure is being put on that nerve as to whether or not you're going to feel pain. And that's, again, one of the big problems is oftentimes sciatica is the evolution of something that's been going on in the lower back or the hips for a period of time. And people usually don't do anything about it, or they put it off because it comes and goes. They think, hey, it's just going to go away again. Mm-hmm. It's just going to go away again. So 95% of the people that I actually see when they come into my office, when I ask them when the first time they ever had any type of issue was, oftentimes it's at least 10 years, something comes and goes, and then it progressively gets worse to a point where now it's constant.
Okay, so is exercise better for relieving sciatic pain than rest?
Yeah, most definitely. You look at any sort of research out there, the better something moves, the more flexible that you are, the stronger that you are, the better that your body is going to function. Now, I'm not talking like, you want to go run a marathon or anything like that if you're suffering from sciatica, but light exercise, getting up and moving around, getting some movement into those discs, into those joints, actually start to allow them to heal. The worst thing that you could do when you have something like that is to say, go home and lay on the couch, or go home and lay twisted in bed all day long. Light movement, light exercise, just getting up and getting things moving. Those are a couple of things, and there's a series of specific exercises that we'll have people do at home that actually help open up those nerve channels and relieve pressure on that sciatic nerve. So we have a series of spinal hygiene exercises specifically designed and developed for people that are suffering with sciatica. But we first got to determine what's going on and what exercises are right for them.
Okay. And what nutritional advice do you have for people that are suffering from sciatica?
Great question. We want to always, obviously, provide our body with optimal nutritional support. The common denominator with a lot of these inflammatory conditions is inflammation. And so the less inflammation, or the lower the inflammation that we have in the body, the better off you're going to be. And so one of the things you want to look at is omega-6-3 ratio, so decreasing the omega-6s, the vegetable oils, that type of thing. Those are pro-inflammatory. Corn, soy. You want to increase the omega-3s, the healthy fats. Omega-3 fatty acid fish oil. We recommend a product through a company called Nutritional. It's ideal. It's molecularly distilled. It's got a 2,000 milligram EPA to 1,000 milligram DHA ratio. It's optimal for reducing and decreasing inflammation in the body. Actually works on the same pathways as like Advil and Tylenol, so it's a COX inhibitor, cyclooxygenase inhibitor, but it doesn't have any of the nasty side effects. So that's one of the things we recommend. And then the other big thing we recommend is high-dose vitamin D3. And we recommend, again, a high-potency D3 through a company called Nutritional. We found that their products tend to be the best when tested.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Phinney. We know you're extremely busy, so I just want to thank you for your time and help today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having us on. It's a privilege.
Thank you. And for our listeners across the country, if you're interested in speaking with Dr. Matthew Phinney, you can either go online to www.thechirodocs.com or call 616-432-3103 to schedule an appointment. And on behalf of our entire team at Razorcast, we want to thank you for listening, and we look forward to bringing you more top-quality content from our country's leading industry professionals.
You've been listening to Razorcast, USA's hottest podcast, bringing you cutting-edge interviews from leading industry professionals.